guess today's topic was about travel because you talked about travel this entire time. So we have to redo the intro then. Hello and welcome back to Common Ground Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything. My name is Amy Bacon and I'm your host.
My name is Claire Bacon. I'm the guest.
She is my sister. She is my guest. And today we are talking about travel and how it helped to broaden our perspectives. And we actually already filmed the episode, so it's gonna go back to the beginning now.
Change the subject
because we changed the
I went off
subject
topic
because
by
Claire went off
accident.
topic. We're just gonna move right back in, talk a little bit about that today. I know we're both stubborn. Both.
That is true. Yes.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Been called it many times. Don't think we'll ever not be stubborn, but I think we have come a long way, sort of. We're gonna offer some advice. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. And I think the best way to start.
I don't think I'm that stubborn, to be honest.
I would have to disagree.
Reflecting,
I think
I
I'm more
have
stubborn than you.
I agree with that. I have a strong will, is how I would put it.
Yeah.
I
I'm
feel like
definitely-
stubborn's a bit of a harsh
I
word.
don't like to be wrong.
I'm okay with being wrong.
No, I'm not there yet. I was confident to agree with that. But can I just say my example, because I think it made sense
Yes.
when I explained the example. We always considered that we would live in Canada. Like, we always said we would live in Canada. We never said we were going to move away and that we're going to have this, like, cushy life, work a 9 to 5, have a corporate job, get a cat, get a dog, have an apartment, get a house, have kids. By the time I'm 30, I need to be married, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have a husband. Always thought I was going to have a husband. And then by the time I'm, like, getting retired, I'm going to be cruising and, like, taking, like, trips to, like, Alaska. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say. And I just never considered that there was other options to life. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than, like, I genuinely was, like, so stuck thinking that this was the only path for me. When I started to realize that there are other options and things that I could do that didn't exist in this life that I had curated for myself since, like, early childhood, I didn't know how to be wrong, and it caused me to be, I think, stubborn, because then I couldn't let go. I didn't want people to be like, oh, see, like, knew you wouldn't like that, or like, oh, you're not doing this, or like, blah blah blah. So I'm just like, no, like, for the longest time I just abided by what I had thought that I wanted.
But I also think that you're fed this image of what the perfect life looks like. I mean, you are, like, family, by the age of 30 you're settling down, retirement is the time to travel, but in all reality, I don't think that is at all. I mean, obviously that can be someone else's plan, but I never considered, or I mean, I obviously did consider traveling when I was younger, but you think that it's smarter to work when you're younger because that's when you're in your best health and your fittest then, and so you can work longer hours and you can do more and just extend your days all the way into the night so that you can go out and have, like, a life for yourself. But I actually kind of lost my train of thought there for a second.
No, I think your train of thought was right. And also, you just got back from a trip. You were just traveling. You just saw the world, a big part of the world, for, like, one of the first times, I would say. I was lucky enough to be able to, like, do some traveling before I really went and, like, did school. And, like, I don't think you had the opportunity, like, that I have had in that way. I'm interested to, like, ask you, was there any shifts into how you perceive sort of the world, or, like, did your mindset, like, get bigger? Because for me, when I came back from the first time that I went to Europe and the first time that I went to Brazil, I had, like, a huge culture shock, like, walking into the streets, and it was, like, so different from North America. And it was the first time that I had been like, people live regular lives here that look nothing like what I had imagined my life to look like. And for the first time I was like, maybe this isn't what I want. Like, maybe this, like, I'll call it American dream because it's kind of what it is. Like, this American dream that I've been sold my whole life isn't actually what I want. The culture is different. Like, people value connection and partying and community a lot more, and, like, it's accepted and culturally accepted a lot more than in here. And anyways, like, I'm kind of going off on this tangent, but, like, it just made me realize that, like, the world is actually huge. Mm-hmm. And it's actually big, and, like, there is, like, so much that happens outside of, like, this bubble that we're in. And I'm just, like, interested to hear if you felt like your world sort of just like expanded, because I feel like my world expanded, and ever since then I've just been like kind of battling between like what I wanted and like being wrong, and like thinking if I could live another life, is it even possible for me? Does that make sense?
That does make sense. It's really easy to get trapped into routine, and that you can't imagine yourself doing anything other than the routine that you have. Like currently I work at a hair salon as a receptionist, and I love my job. But sometimes it feels challenging to even picture yourself not living where I am right now in Vancouver, going to work, coming home, because there's just no time to even think about it. Because then on the weekends, I want to have a life for myself and socialize with people that I don't see during that time. So, in other words, going abroad was just so nice to see and realize that I actually can do other things. And also their pace of life, exactly what you were saying. It's just not, it's so different. There, everything closes down from 12. Oh, I went to Toulouse, France, and then I went to Paris and stayed in the second arrondissement, because I believe there's 12, but I could be wrong. There might be a few more, but I cannot remember. But I think it's 12. Everything closes down from 12 until 2 for lunch. Shops are closed. Everything is closed for their extended lunch. The places just fill up. Like, they're practically empty before, and then everything is filled up in the morning, this was really cute, actually. My mom and I went with my mom, and we sat at this table, and normally when you go out for lunch or dinner or breakfast, you like sit across from the person that you're going with, right? But everyone, in a sense, is people watching or is looking at the view. So my mom and I sat across from each other, and the woman moved my chair around so we could both be facing, like sitting next to each other and looking out. And it was just so sweet. It's so big over there to have an extended lunch, to relax and socialize with people and just take the time. Every single time you're offered coffee or like espresso at the end of your meals. But it's so nice, and it's so refreshing, because right now, and again, this is not just like my job, this is every job, but I clock out for a 30-minute lunch that feels kind of rushed. Like you have too much time, but also not enough time in a sense. And then you go back in and you're now there for 8.5 hours, which again, I love my job, and that's with many other jobs as well. But the culture there is that you just clock out for your 2 hours and you're on your 2-hour lunch break. But it was really nice to see that everyone just was on the same timeline. Like, everybody knows. And you can be having a super busy day at work or just like a super busy day in general, but everyone will still leave what they're doing to go and follow this routine that they have set out for themselves, which is really nice. But like you were saying, how you pictured your life with the so-called American dream, I never really saw myself moving from Canada to live elsewhere, but that has completely changed in the last couple of years. But I hadn't traveled to feel that it's even possible. The language barrier, which I was really worried about, wasn't as big as an issue as I thought. I have basic French, couldn't carry me in like a full conversation. I've taken us off topic.
Yeah, we're way off.
I don't remember what the first topic was.
Yeah.
You let me ramble.
Yeah, I'm letting you ramble. I'll bring you back. And all of that tangent that you just went on, my original question, tangent was great.
Thank you.
And it definitely proves the point that I was trying to say, or not even proves my point. What I wanted to hear from you was how
so off topic.
So off topic. But what I wanted to hear from you was how your perspective on the world, how your perspective on your trajectory of life, if it changed, and if so, how it did, because you just went away and experienced so much newness. You experienced a regular that you've never experienced before. Like, 2-hour lunches is normal there. It's never normal here. And like saying hello, even though that's pretty common here in Canada, like could be completely different for somebody else. So like a series of things that are new to you, how did that shape, if at all?
It definitely shaped my perspective on the way that I live daily over here.
Do you think it made it harder for you to like come home and like return to your normal routine?
Bittersweet, because you don't really want your vacation to end, but by coming home means that it's over, and you don't really want it to be over. But specifically on this one, because you're right, this is the first time I've really been away, I have to say I'm definitely gonna miss the values that they have over there that we just don't.
Like a slower pace of life.
A slower pace of life. To answer your question shortly, it made me want to think of somewhere else to move to at least live for a year, because I can't see myself living in Vancouver for the rest of my 20s, to be specific.
Circling back to talking about being stubborn, was that I was so fixated on achieving the life that I thought that I would achieve, that when it came down to acknowledging that I wasn't fully satisfied with the concept of everything I had anticipated, it was really hard. I acknowledged in my head that I was wrong, and I still was okay with saying that I was going to continue with my like pursuit of a 9-to-5, my pursuit of like this American dream, if you will. Traveling and experiencing the world forced me to have to face sort of that reality. It plays a massive factor in broadening your perspectives. I had just never considered so many things.
Such as?
Like, just everything. It's kind of hard because a lot of my experience comes from dating somebody also from another culture. Mega opened my eyes and like mega made me think about life differently. The dynamic of that person's life in a different country and like my life in this country. When you're with somebody and you compare your two lives, you're just like, oh my gosh, like everything we did was different and somehow the same, and like everything we had envisioned for our futures is so different and somehow still the same. Broadening my perspective came largely from travel. I also can't not acknowledge that it came from dating somebody who lives from a completely different continent from me, who I learned so many things from. Like, there's just no denying it. It made me feel more okay with being wrong, I think, because I just realized that it's not even your fault for not knowing everything, because how could you ever know the whole world? Like, it wasn't my fault for thinking that I was going to live this life, because like what you said at the beginning,
You're fed this ideal image.
You're fed an
from a
ideal
young age.
image. What you always thought you wanted, what you think that you should want, isn't what you want anymore. It's very hard to overcome. It's very hard to grasp.
I mean, it's also hard to feel like you're choosing the right path.
Yeah, it's
when
hard. You want to feel like you're making the right decision, but you don't know. You're never gonna know. What is one piece of advice you would give to somebody who wants to change their path, change what they're doing, / broaden their own perspectives, or like out of their narrow-mindedness?
I would say book the plane ticket.
And if you can't, because I think that's important.
Okay, I will get to that, but let me finish this thought first, please.
Okay.
Book your plane ticket if you can. Make sure you are not like a tourist, but a traveler, so you're not just... And research where you're going. So if you cannot book your plane ticket, I would say the best thing you can do, not be so narrow-minded, is to just honestly do things outside of your routine that you've just morphed into, either not realizing it or realizing it, and just do something different. And that could be something so small as not going for a walk in the same 4 or 5 places that you normally go, and just drive somewhere or take the bus somewhere to a place you've never been and just walk around, see something new, do something new, try a new food, just do something you haven't done before.
The one piece of advice / suggestion that I would say is to be curious and to ask questions. Just wondering. You need to wonder. Like, if you don't understand something, you should ask about it, and the more you do it, the more your world expands and it becomes enriched with new knowledge and people and cultures and languages, art and music.
In a different language.
Listen to music in a different language.
So I have a BB funk for you. I do. It's really good.
Make an effort to consume art, consume media, and it's so important. Since I started doing that, it's caused me to think so much bigger, and it's been great because my world is so much bigger, but also, oh my god, my world is so much bigger, and now I feel like I'm confused all the time because I have no idea what I want to do with my life.
It's good to be confused.
But it's good to be confused in that sense, because it's better to know and to be
questioning,
immersed in
what
this.
you do.
Yeah, be immersed in everything that the world has to offer, the people around you
Be immersed
have to offer.
in your life.
Yeah, your friends have things to offer you, strangers have things to offer you, and everyone should be sharing everything with one another in terms of knowledge and love, music, art.
I love that. That's really good.
Yeah, that's my piece. The biggest thing that I think I've learned in my 20s is to be curious.
I'm going to steal that, and I'm going to say the same. Be curious in your 20s.
Right. And I think we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us. We'll talk again soon. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for listening to Common Ground Podcast.
We hope to see you again.
Bye.
Bye.